Hey there, tech fans. Rick here again with another review. And today, I have the Orei UHD-IPC165-K HDMI extension kit. This product makes it incredibly easy for you to share all of your HDMI media content with a second location up to 165 feet away over a single Cat 6 or Cat 7 cable. The product features local loopback functionality at the primary location where you can actually enjoy the content here while you're simultaneously broadcasting it to the remote location. It also includes audio extraction capabilities at that secondary location that will strip the audio component from the media stream and allow you to pass that along to a soundbar for better quality audio. Finally, there's also an infrared blaster kit included that will collect up the remote control signals at that second location and pass those back over the same LAN connection to the primary location so you can actually control the content you're watching remotely. Now, as part of this review, I always like to start with an unboxing of a product just to show you all the components that are included. And then I'll take a closer look at the transmitter and receiver modules and explain the connections you'll need to make. And then I'll actually come back and point out a few things that really separate this Orei HDMI extension kit from others you may be considering. So let's get started with the unboxing. When you first open up the box, you'll find a transmitter module and a receiver module, and a set of brackets you can use to mount these up off the ground and out of the way. Each of these modules include a 5-volt, 1-amp power supply. You'll plug this into the wall, plug that barrel connection into the module, and that's all the power you'll need to operate the product. You'll also find 2 infrared blasters. This is a receiver, and that one's a transmitter, and it's important you match those up with the correct module. Finally, a full instruction manual is also included that explains connection diagrams, specifications, and other details you'll need to understand in order to use this kit correctly. Now, if you stay tuned next, I'll take a closer look at both of the modules and explain the connections you'll need to make to use it with your own equipment. Inside the kit, you'll find a transmitter module and a receiver module, a set of brackets you can use to mount these 2 modules up off the ground and out of the way. You'll also find 2 infrared blasters, one labeled infrared in for the receiver, and the other one labeled infrared out for the transmitter. And it's important you plug these into the correct modules for proper operation. You'll also find 2 power supplies. These are 5-volt, 1-amp DC power supplies. You can simply plug this into any standard wall outlet. The other end of the cable has a barrel connector on it which plugs into the back of the module. Finally, a full instruction manual is also included that shows you connection diagrams, specifications, and other details you'll need to understand about the kit in order to use it properly. Both the transmitter and receiver modules feature full metal enclosures, which make them incredibly durable, and it also helps to minimize outside interference from causing any issues with the sensitive electronics inside. I'll start with the transmitter module. On the one end, starting on the left, you'll find a reset button. That can be used to reboot the module if needed, and to do that, you'll hold it for a couple of seconds, and the unit will go through a power on self-test and come back online. To the right of that is a LAN port, and that's where you'll connect one end of the Cat 6 or Cat 7 cable between the transmitter and the receiver modules. To the right of that is an IR out port. That's used with the infrared blaster kit. Just make sure you plug the unit in that's labeled IR out into that 3.5mm port. To the right of that is a power indicator. The minute you add power to this module, it immediately starts an internal power on self-test where it's checking all the electronics just to make sure everything is working okay. And once it passes that test, it'll light that LED, letting you know the module is functional. On either side, you'll find mounting holes that can be used with the included bracketing kit to mount these up off the ground and out of the way. On the other end of the module, starting on the left, you'll find a DC power port. That's used with the included power supply. Again, you'll plug one end into any standard wall outlet. The other end of that cable has a barrel connector on it, which plugs in right there. To the right of that are 2 ports that are HDMI ports labeled HDMI in and HDMI out. The HDMI in port connects to whatever media device you'd like to share the content from with your remote location, standard HDMI connection. To the left of that is the HDMI output port. This product provides local loopback functionality, which allows you to enjoy the content here at the primary location while you're simultaneously broadcasting it to the remote location. And to use this port, you'll need a second HDMI cable, and you'll connect that between this port and the local monitor to enjoy that content. The receiver has similar functionality. On the back, you'll find a reset button on the left. Again, to reboot the module, you'll hold that for a couple of seconds. To the right of that is a LAN port. That's where the other end of that Cat 6 or Cat 7 cable from the transmitter module plugs in. To the right of that is the second IR blaster port. Again, plug the one in that's labeled infrared in, plugs in right there at the 3.5mm port. To the right of that is a power indicator. Again, when you add power to the unit, starts the power on self-test. When it passes that, it'll light that LED. On the other end, you'll find the DC port here. Again, the second power supply plugs in there. To the right of that is an HDMI port. That's where you'll connect the remote monitor at that secondary location. So again, a standard HDMI connection there. And to the far right, you'll find a 3.5mm port that allows you to pass audio from this receiver to a soundbar for better quality audio. This unit can actually strip the audio from the media stream that's being sent here and output it through that port so you can enjoy better quality audio with a soundbar or home amplifier. Very sophisticated system and very easy to hook up. I hope that closer look was helpful. Here are a few key things to keep in mind when you're comparing the Orei UHD-IPC165-K to other HDMI extension kits you may be considering. The first thing has to do with the resolution they support. This product fully supports 4K ultra high definition media content, which means you're going to get the best possible picture and audio at that secondary location. Other kits may only support 1080p media content, which means you're not going to get that crisp video and that crisp audio at the remote location. It's really important to check that. This will also support 4K at 60 frames a second. Even if the other kits support 4K, many of those will only support it at 30 frames a second. So knowing this kit supports the very latest and high definition standards means you're going to get the best possible media content at your remote location. Another feature that separates this from the competition is the local loopback functionality at the primary site. And that's very important because if you don't have that functionality, you'll basically plug in whatever media device you'd like to transmit to the remote location, but you can't enjoy it here at the primary site. Because of the local loopback functionality, you can continue to enjoy the content from your DVD player, your media streamer, or your game console here while you simultaneously broadcast it to the remote location. The audio extraction capabilities are important as well because they allow you to use a speaker other than the monitor you're watching it on at that remote location. So passing the audio to a soundbar gives you much better quality audio at that remote location. And then finally, the inclusion of the infrared blaster kits means that you actually can control the content at that remote location by sending those remote control signals back over the LAN cable to the primary location where they're rebroadcast to control the content. That's something a lot of other kits don't include, and if you don't have that functionality, it means at the remote location, you can start the content here if you're watching a movie and then run to your secondary location to watch it, but you can't stop it, pause it, or rewind it at that location. Because Orei includes the infrared blaster kit, it gives you complete remote control over the media content you're enjoying. So I hope you found this review helpful, and until next time, stay nerdy.